Welcome back to the next episode. When did I take my hat off? Spootnik, when did I take my hat off? I could have sworn I had that hat. I know.
It on. I don't recall you taking it off, though.
That's so weird, because I literally put the... I don't know. Okay.
I even said, nice hat.
I know you said nice hat. That's why I'm questioning it. I don't I must have taken it off at some point to mess with my headset. All right. Whatever. We're in season 2 of the show. It's episode 35. Just a quick note. I will repeat this again later. Dave is not going to be here for the next 2 weeks, which means the next time we meet up will actually be 2 days from the 1-year anniversary. So we're just going to say it's going to be the 1-year anniversary of the show. We've accomplished so little. We've learned almost nothing. Nothing? I couldn't get a laugh out of that? Really? Okay. All right.
We've accomplished a lot.
You got a strong Excel. That's a lot for me.
Well, I'll say this: you are a party that is interested in the meta plot, and more than that, you're keeping notes, which is really some high level shit. I mean, the on the tabletop guys, when they take notes, they write the note onto the pictures they're drawing, and then they forget about it because they wrote the note on the picture they're drawing, and not into a notebook where one might peruse notes later.
Not only that, but Drumurboy and I are starting to work on the wiki for this fucking game.
Look, we have notes.
I made 2 wikis before, and it was so much additional shit, and it didn't work out for me. The Winner's Edge 1 and Winner's Edge 2 wikis were an incredible amount of work.
Yeah, I've done it a couple times.
What was it? No, Sin Eaters. Remember that, Brian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a wiki for that.
Yeah, not worth it.
No.
Really not worth it.
No.
I mean, it's great. It's great when the players are just like, hang on, how do I make this seal again? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. But then outside of that, it's like, nah, man, I don't know. That was a weird game. We weren't allowed to look at the rule book for that particular reason. So
Yeah.
it's whatever. It's fine.
Okay. It is very difficult to get the OTT crew to meet, but we're lucky. We're going to start meeting regularly again. Meanwhile, I guess this hurricane that was going to destroy America hasn't destroyed America yet. Every day I wake up wondering if nuclear war will destroy all of us, so I guess it's the 1950s again.
Yeah. Trump saved everyone. I mean, that's the only explanation.
Yeah.
He got out there personally. He was supposed to come to Poland. He was supposed to be in Warsaw, my town. Right?
He swung his golf club so hard and missed the ball that he whipped the hurricane away.
Awesome. And
but he stood in front of that hurricane and he pushed it back with his bare American muscles. That's what I heard. At least anyway.
Fake Grand Order has Nerofest ongoing, and I gotta tell you, it has been like a month and a half since I watched a single episode of anime. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's also been a month and a half since I've had more than like 3 or 4 hours of sleep in a night. I think they might be related. I don't think watching anime will let me sleep. I think the not sleeping is keeping me from watching anime. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. I know so much useless trivia from Wikipedia now from sleeping 2 hours.
Welcome to the club, my dude. It's like, oh, I'm curious about this. You hear something. I'm gonna look at this.
No, I've always had plenty of useless trivia. I mean,
just go. I know, but the Wikipedia rabbit hole, you just go and you just keep going. Next thing you know, you have 36 tabs open.
Listen, Atomic, you fucking shit talker. Being like, people who read 1D4chan entries about Warhammer aren't Warhammer 40k fans, and I'm like,
that is not what I said.
These are very funny. They're so much better than the Lexicanum entries.
No, the Lexicanum is for information. 1D4chan is for a little bit of information and a bunch of fucking memes. There's a difference. And notice I didn't just say 1D4chan. So 1D4chan memes and text-to-speech device.
I don't know about that other thing. All I know about
is speech device is
I know. I get it keeps showing up on my YouTube recommendeds, and I'm like, no, go away.
It's essentially an animated version of 1D4chan, But there's a lot of people that just interject that as like canon stuff into everything. It's like, all right, it's entertaining, but
some of these videos, the voice acting is horrible.
Some of the early ones, it's not great, but it gets better. But there's a pretty good subsect. Well, yeah, there's like 30 something episodes. They go from being a couple minutes to like 45 minutes.
All right.
But
other than that, oh yeah, I guess the most important thing this week is that my Game of Thrones show is technically launching. We'll see if that actually happens.
Didn't originally you're like, man, this game it's gonna be 7. This Game of Thrones show launches before the Warhammer one does, and like we've been going.
The Warhammer, okay, the Game of Thrones show was absolutely scheduled to launch before the Warhammer show. The Warhammer show is now on its 8th episode, so the next episode will be 9, and Game of Thrones is finally launching. Maybe one of the players, I only hear from him once a week, and he didn't check in this week, so who knows if he'll be here next weekend. This is the most frustrating shit in the world to deal with. It's just like, hey, I need to know all these things about your characters. And he's like, okay. And then I never hear from him again. So that's where I'm at.
To be fair, a lot of the things we have with the Warhammer thing, James like swept in as like, I gotcha. And just fucking, James knows all. Which is good.
I mean, I don't know that has a lot to do with physically launching the show.
We had a lot of concerns about trying to do the tabletop thing and everything else, and James is like, don't worry about it. For some stuff, if I remember the conversation.
I'm not going to say that James is not knowledgeable about the system, but my concerns about launching Warhammer were mostly having the people to do it and then doing it. Professional players? Jesus. What would I pay them with? Dust? The ash? By the way, I want to thank whoever bought 2 shirts last week for this show.
Shit, that's right. I got paid.
Yeah, I was gonna say, damn, I need to buy that.
APGamingREAL merch store, which you can get by typing !merch in the comments section, or not on Twitch chat. If you go on Discord, you can look up the merch show. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. We have New Game Plus shirts. They're wanted posters of all of the current character cast. Raddosaurus, I think, did a really excellent job, not just making these the first time, but then making them a second time. Kelly is incredibly ripped.
I'm so annoyed because I shit you not, probably 2.5 hours ago, I bought a shirt from Teespring from WebDM. I could have combined them. Whatever.
Okay.
If you buy them from Teespring, you can actually get them in different formats too, like stickers and shit.
Yeah, usually.
Come in t-shirts.
All right, butts.
Hey, can we buy stickers of our characters?
I could make that an available merch option.
You need a sticker that's just a fucking emo coin.
I could put it on my beer cup.
All right, I'll think about it. Just for you. For you, I will think about doing it. Remind me afterwards. I mean, which one do you want? Do you want the little cottontail doodle one, or you want your badass Finley, really jack dude?
I think it would be cool to have the cottontail, like little chibi ones as stickers, and then the ones on the t-shirts stay the same.
Okay. I'll talk to Cotton about licensing that merch.
Nice.
I'm buying a shirt right now.
Okay, great.
Who was the winner of all that? As you said last time, you wanted to do a popularity poll.
Let's give people a little while to buy the shirts. Maybe like when we come back from the next break, after the day vacation, we'll see what shirts have sold. Because right now, there is no winner. One person bought 2 different shirts, and so those 2 people are tied for both first and last place. Well, I was going to say we're going to start with Dave, but then he was eating something. Then I was going to jump to Spootnik, but he was drinking something. So we'll start with Atomic. I feel like we don't do that very often.
No, because I don't really do a whole lot.
But that's not how I decide who goes first.
I know.
Okay.
Mine's whatever. It's mostly just been dealing with all this hurricane shit. People have been losing their fucking minds around here. So I even had like neighbors who were like, "Oh, if it gets super bad, do you mind if because I've got a generator and stuff." They're asking if they could maybe come over here if things get really bad, I'm like, sure, but it's not going to get that bad. So, talk to them and then playing Warcraft and then helping out some friends of mine who were new to like No Man's Sky and stuff like that with some stuff. I've been doing some building models and such. Really haven't been doing a whole lot. Just because of the hurricane, just the weather, it's been miserable and everything else. So it's pretty much been me the past, since Saturday, and nothing's really changed.
There has to be a joke that I can make involving the words, I'm miserable, so nothing's really changed.
I said the weather's been miserable.
Yeah, but I'm working on it, how to chain it all together.
You'll get there, Arthur.
I know.
All right, I bought a t-shirt.
Did you buy your shirt?
Goddamn right I did.
Well, who knows? You might have bought a Finley shirt.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, everybody
I
loves
think
Finley.
I bought Finley shirt.
I bought my shirt.
I'm gonna buy 5 Henley shirts.
It's the first time I've ever had
Don't do that.
a character that I've been involved with on merch, dude. Of course I'm gonna buy my shirt.
You know, I've been thinking a lot about Dante Fierro lately, like all week long. I was like,
I mean, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you.
That's a good character.
I was like, wow, the person that he is based on has become more like him over the years.
Yeah. Also, out of all the characters on the show that I've had, the Night City game crew, like the original ones, are probably the most revered, given the fact that they get talked about at the Artolian offices all the fucking time, apparently. So kudos to you.
Oh, they
guys.
can just contact me, real quick. If they want to slide me an early copy of the finished Cyberpunk Red, I will run my Friday Night Firefight version of Trauma Team with Dante Fierro as the franchise owner.
I mean, if you want, I can get you in contact with Justin. He'll help out.
I don't know who that is. The only person I know there is the guy who wrote it, Mike Onsmith. All right, we'll talk. Dave, speaking of talking, I heard that you've got an intro to do, and then you've got a book recommendation that you wouldn't tell me about because you wanted to surprise me on stream, and then you have to tell us about how the porn game industry is going. Didn't even get through the sentence.
So yeah, let's just knock these out. So first and foremost, we've got 13 hours left of Outer's Blood on Kickstarter. We are well and truly past the goal, and we are just under $1,000 from hitting our 4th stretch goal, which is fucking awesome. So you want to go check that out? Can I post a link, Arthur? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're a mod, right? I think you have mod powers.
Yeah, I think so. I just want to make sure it's cool with you.
I
So
literally have
there
never
if you want to
cared.
do that. So Outer's Blood is like a Victorian Western tactical stealth game. So it's like it's basically like if World of Darkness and XCOM had a baby, essentially. But
I'm
with,
going to
like,
tell you, Dave, real quick. I could have sworn for months you've been saying Elder's Blood, as in EL.
Elders.
Now,
AL.
I'm way more confused.
Alders, yeah. I don't know.
Are they all aldermen?
No, I can't say too much about it, but the general rule of thumb is that there's a god, he dies, and then monsters come out of the corpse of the god. Kind of like this game a little bit.
That's pretty normal, actually.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, I'll tell you what. Can I get this game for Switch if I back it at the $20 the game level?
Absolutely.
Well, then I'm fucking backing it right now.
Yep.
Live on
We got
stream.
a working build on the Switch already in the office and stuff, so yeah. It's got a bit of work left because it's like a 40-hour fucking game. It's a monster. It's like huge, very, very long. And it's like try and play XCOM in stealth mode the entire game, and it's like that. It's actually really quite fascinating.
The art looks pretty cool. I like the character models.
The art is real fucking good. Like we spent a lot of time with the artist to make sure that works real good. What else? Good Night is the next game that's coming up. That's got a release fairly soon. That's also going to be on Switch starting early next year, I believe. So you can go wishlist that on Steam if you want, or on Switch. And I guess still doing the job stuff, the porn industry stuff. Yeah, no, that's going all right. I just finished the first game design document for the first game that we'll be internally developing. And I'm basically, I had this really weird discussion in the office today. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going to go around. We're just going to put fetishes in a hat and we see what we get and see what we're adding to the game. So, things like that is now commonplace for me. So, yeah.
Our first game is called Leather Feet.
Actually, no. The first game is called Heart of Cards. It's like
it's a Yu-Gi-Oh board game.
Not too far off the point, but yes.
Did you just combine Gwent with the Coitus cards from Witcher?
I am deeply, deeply attempting in my brain as I'm speaking to come up with lines where he's like, and that's when I play this card, which not only demolishes your final defense, it also demolishes your heart. Card.
But it's not what you actually think. Yugi, you must eat the booty. No, it's nothing like that. Don't worry about that.
Have you seen the ProZD video about Yu-Gi-Oh getting off on the danger of being placed in situations like losing a soul?
I can see that being a thing.
Oh, Dave, I'm sending it to you right now.
Thank you. That'd be excellent. So yeah, it's if anyone's ever played Pocket Jockey, it's very similar to that, except with adult stuff. So that's probably the closest allegory I can give you. So but yeah, so what else?
This video.
Oh yeah, so I've been reading a book lately. It's actually fucking fantastic. And I think the title of it will basically describe exactly what this book is. It's called The First 15 Lives of Harry August. It is literally about a guy who lives an entire life, dies, and then is reborn as a baby. And he just continually lives through life over and over and over again.
What's the author's name?
Hang on 1 second. I can pull
It's
it
a
up.
woman, right?
I think so. I think
she wrote a book after that called Touch, which is really fucking good.
The first 15 lives.
Shit, they're making Dungeon Meshi into a fucking anime, y'all.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd watch that.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna run a
North.
game set in that kind of universe. So,
Touch is really good. It's about like this group of secret assassins or something like that. But basically, the way it is there's some sort of entity, life form that jumps from human body to human body via touch. And when they're in the human body, the person they're inhabiting has no memory of the time that they're taken over. And like there's like this whole society of humans, almost like vampires and like their human assistants or whatever the fuck, where it's like,
sounds like she wrote,
I'll let you live in me and you make me famous or something, or I get a bunch of money in my bank account. I just lose 30 years or something. It's crazy. It's really good.
So the basic gist of this is that there's a society of people who live their lives over and over again. And it's not like they have extremely long lives. They live like, if you're born in the 1700s, you live like what, maybe 60 years if you know how to do it. So there are people that are born at certain times all throughout the like history that just completely relive their lives over and over again, and they eventually form like a club where like really old people will talk to really, really young people, like 6-year-old babies who have relived their lives and like remember being an adult and all that stuff, and pass on like messages and shit. It's awesome. It's fucking fascinating. But the only problem I have with it is like at a certain point in the book, the guy, because he also has like what's that memory where you remember everything perfectly?
Eidetic memory?
Yeah, eidetic, yep. Anyway, he has that. So at a certain point in the book, his vocabulary just fucking is enormous. Like his lexicon is just huge. And he starts using it in the actual like whatever journal he's writing. And it's like, Jesus Christ, dude. Holy fuck. Some of the stuff we can't even follow sometimes. It's just like, you know.
Those just get like super dense.
It gets pretty dense, but the chapters are like, you know, 2.5, 3 pages long sometimes. So it's like, they're not very long chapters at all. And for the most part, it's the first book I've read in a long time that doesn't focus on dialogue. Like it's just the character describing what a character says to him rather than having the character say it to him. It's strange. It's a weird way of writing things, but I kind of like it. Yeah. Anyways, you should go read it. It's fantastic, and it basically fills in a lot of like for example, what happens if we just all go our separate ways, one life, and just live our lives like fully, and then see what happens when we come back to the mountain. You know, like there's things like that we could do in this game that we haven't done yet. You know, like that'd be
You go to the
real
Adventuring Guild.
Yeah. You know, we could live we could live a bunch of shit and maybe like take notes on where to find like money and stuff, like, you know, things like that, right? Like, but we haven't done any of that shit as time travelers, so I thought that was appropriate to bring up.
I have one final thought to leave you with, Dave. You're the video game producer and money guy, but
thank you.
Just in case, I mean, I don't know why you're thanking me. That's literally your job title, but one thing that I find very interesting about Fate's game design is that they place a restriction. I mean, you know, it was born out of the idea that the original Fate Stay Night would be a kind of eroji game that had like maybe 10 minutes of eroji scenes and 80 to 90 hours of content, but that those scenes, while they might play on certain fetishes, they should never be objectionable to a random person. Right? They should never go so far that... So, as I feel like your hat idea is interesting, but just remember, it's not about the people you attract to play. It's about the people who you disattract to play. That's my... So,
we have a credos about what we can and cannot include.
Can't wait for what you're about to say. This next sentence will utterly revolt me.
I'm not going to tell you what we don't include because it's a long list of things.
Yeah, I bet.
But having said that, when it comes to doing things like creating a business model around selling an adult product, there's a lot that goes into it. Like a lot of people who make adult games, they're just people. So they make them because they want to. But when you have a business, you kind of have to make it around a business model. And that business model is to sell video games. So if you make a video game that isn't inclusive, or for whatever reason, like, you know, for the first game we're releasing, we're going to focus on straight gendered stuff because it's what we know, but there's no reason why we can't reproduce that same game with a different mindset and mentality in mind. But having said that, the things that it covers and what type of experiences happen inside of that game has to conform to and expectations of platforms that allow that type of content to be sold on. Like, for example, the Switch allows adult content to be sold on it, but it has to meet specifications. And those specifications are pretty stringent. And we have adult publishing game websites that are also like, yo, here's everything we just will never touch with a 10-foot pole. And then on top of that, we also have things that we personally wouldn't want to have our name associated with. So there's a lot of that fall under that umbrella. So when it comes to like making, like, for example, a good one is...
Sounds really complicated.
It is, but like a good one that I can bring up that's safe to talk about is like, do we have like intercourse under the guise of someone being drunk? No, we will not. Like, never. Because that can be, in a way, construed as non-consensual, right? So that's the sort of stuff that we sort of look at when we're building content for the game.
It's no different than if people, when you get art commissions, like especially adult artists, they'll just have a list of things they won't do, or things that if somebody wants to do it, they'll charge a whole lot more for, because they might not necessarily be against it, but it's not something they really whatever.
Yeah.
But most of them have.
I've never run into that, probably because I don't get adult art.
If you get adult art, like there's certain stuff. There's a common list of things that most of those artists just won't touch with a 10-foot pole, and so I assume it's the same way. I mean, it's just you're gonna have, because it's a business model, you're gonna have to go after the largest demographic, which makes sense. And if it's successful, then you can kind of not necessarily take a risk, but kind of reach further out there and try and pull in more people other than just that, larger.
It's not just that as well. Like, for example, as the CEO of this company, this new adult company, the one thing that I want to do is make sure that every single game that we have has a sex positive message, which is to say we're making a dating game. So instead of it being like, all right, I'm going to trick these girls into dating me, it's not going to be about that. It's like, I'm going to better myself, so I'm a more interesting person for the other person to date. That's sort of the mentality and the focus that these sorts of games will have. And with that in mind, the game sort of unfolds in a different way. And it's sort of like when you're writing a script or when you're writing a document that designs the game, if you have those sorts of things in mind, all of a sudden the game sort of takes on a different form. Dating sim games, right? The whole idea that
I've
you sort
played
of
a few. Some are very, very bad.
Yeah. So the idea that, as the MC, the main character, you can do a thing to make someone like you is kind of inherent to the problem, because realistically, like, it's a two-way street, and a lot of those games never really deal with that sort of content. So we have, if you look into it, that's how we want to display that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Whereas, anyway, that's enough. I'm sorry.
No, listen. I've done a lot of intros over the last 5 years, and this is one of the more interesting game mechanic discussions that I've heard. However, there's one word I didn't hear from your mouth, which would absolutely sell any video game instantly. Tsundere. Every main character, tsundere. You're done, just money flying at you, all right? It's like Pokemon dollars.
So I might.
Dave is like, I don't know what a tsundere is. Let me Google this real quick.
No. Here's the thing. I will guarantee that there will be a character in my sex game that is called Annette something starting with P, and she will be a tsundere just for you, Arthur.
All right.
There you go.
I heard that guarantee. We'll see.
What color do you want her hair?
Look, man, I am not one who... I have nothing to do with this, okay? Nothing to do with this.
Nothing and everything.
I want to be super clear here.
Hey, I've seen that anime stash folder you accidentally showed once. I've seen it.
I want to be very clear here, all right? When I pass, one thing that people will not say of me is that he developed a porn game, all right? That's just something people are going to say about me. That's all I'm saying, Dave. That's all I'm saying. I'm not judging it. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally get involved with this. You choose whatever hair color you want.
I'll totally be involved. I don't give a fuck. I'll be dead.
Atomic can pick the hair color.
I'll be fucking dead. I don't give a shit. I've already made a deal with my parents. It's like, look, if I kick the bucket for you guys to do, shoot my ass into space. They said, okay.
Did you just say shoot your ass in your... Spootnik, let's do your intro.
I'll be cremated and shot in space.
Here lies Arthur Perkins. He never created a porn game.
No.
Be right there on the...
My particular one will probably read, here lies Arthur Perkins. He lived as he died, disappointingly.
That's sad.
I've told my friends in my Discord, I'm like, look, make sure the tombstone just says, God damn it, on the thing.
How are people saying I'm known for weird stuff? I'm known for the most vanilla of shit.
Yeah, you're fairly quick to, whenever people talk about weird shit, like, look, I don't want anything to do with this.
You know what you're like? You're like that fucking actor that was on the Disney Channel and then went on to make like severely like adult shit afterwards. You know, you're that.
No, I'll tell you who I am. I'm Steve Harvey from Family Feud. All right, I'll walk up there and I'll be like, "Give me the answer to this question," and they'll be like, "Boobs," and I'll be like, "Boobs? That's your answer to this question?" And everyone will laugh for like 20 minutes as I ham it up, and then I'll be like, "Show me boobs on the chart," and it'll be number 1, and it'll be like, "Huh?" I'm the Steve Harvey, 100%.
You're the Miley Cyrus of tabletop.
I would like to feel that I'm the Hannah Montana of tabletop RPG.
Well, that will later turn into.
I'm just having an image of AP swinging on a giant fucking.
No, I'm Hannah Montana. Okay,
You're in 3 weeks when we come back. You're going to be sitting on top of an inflatable penis. It's going to be nuts. You'll be like, "Wow, he's really gotten edgy."
I didn't know AP went to a Rammstein concert.
Gonna be grinding on Robin Thicke. You know, at an award show. You know,
I'd buy 3 T-shirts if you did that.
Man, I just wanted to be like AP Gaming. He lived as he died, and then just okay, because that's every time I hear
just okay
or read okay like OKAY, I hear your voice going like okay.
Oh, I just realized.
Oh, don't even get me started about Dave and Swargula back in the day. Let me tell you something. They would ask me a question or say literally anything that would require an acknowledgement, and I would type okay, and they would be like, "Why are you mad?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad. I just said okay. I wanted to acknowledge that I had read and agreed with your statement." And they're like, "You're being so passive aggressive right now," and I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong?"
I had AP.
Okay.
I know that feeling, dude. I had an ex the same way. She'd say something like really, I'd be like, okay, and she'd be like, "What do you mean okay?" It's like, okay, Roger. Like I understand it. Like she just lose her fucking mind. God damn.
Seriously, no, it's not that much harder. It's just right. Thanks for the update, or something more than just K, because there's literally.
I never do K, but I'll go like okay, and like
the worst you can do is K period. Then it's like
no. I'll at least type it out, like be like okay, okay, I got it, and whatever. But I've had people that take that really far. It's like fucking relax.
Arthur, did you hear the super volcano underneath Yellowstone? It's erupting. You have to evacuate now. You've got to get out of the country. Okay.
Got it.
You've just
your
inherited
tombstone doesn't have a wizard hat. I'm rioting your funeral.
You know, I was thinking a great thing to have on a tombstone would just be like death saving throws, and they just have like 3 failures.
Wow.
3 failures, 2 successes, 3 failures. Oh,
that would be rough. Just a big old natural 1 as my tombstone.
Yeah.
You know what? 1 success, 1 failure, then a natural 1 next.
Yeah, exactly. The natural 1.
There's a T-shirt. I think D20 Collective might sell it, but it's just it's a big natural 1, and it says all crit underneath it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Spootnik, we got to circle around back to you, buddy. What you got going on besides them there hurricanes?
Should be fine. A little bit of rain, a little bit of wind.
You'll be fine, dude.
I'm kind of in the middle of the state, so should be all right.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I have been, much like you, AP, taking a bit of a break from Fire Emblem because I have like 50, 60 something hours into it. But I noticed that on the Switch, I don't know when they released it, but they have the Grandia HD collection with Grandia 1 and 2 fully remastered.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so I've been playing through the first Grandia game, and it is really good still.
Grandia 2, the one with yes, it is. I don't want to ruin anything then.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow, Grandia 2 is going to get really fucking... Have you played Grandia 2?
I've never played the second one. I've only played the first one.
I will say nothing then.
A long time ago.
Shit gets real weird.
I'm remembering bits and pieces as I play through Grandia. I'm only about I just got to the new world not too long ago, so I'm still fairly early into the game. But the remaster, it's done fairly well. I mean, it looks great. They've made it to where it's like full screen resolution, so you don't have like those weird borders on the side of the screen, which is really nice. I don't recall. Was it voice acted originally?
I don't remember.
I
It
can't
seems like
remember.
it probably is. Yes,
There
it says
are
voice artist.
some. So there is some voice acting in it. Not all. Not. It's not 100% voiced. But it's really good. Shit, it's really good. So yeah, I just randomly saw that in the store. Sometimes I just scroll through the store and daydream about games I want to play, and I saw that and I was like,
I'm gonna throw this at you, Spootnik.
yeah.
Grandia 2, you're gonna get around to it.
Mhm.
Millennia is that top tier bitch. Don't let her go. Don't let her go.
Look, I'm gonna put the opposite there. Don't put the pussy on a pedestal, Spooty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You let her go if she wants to go.
No, you
Okay.
don't let her go anywhere. She'll get her claws into you, sometimes literally.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing. It's like I said, it's really good. It can sometimes, and again, I can't because this game came out on the Sega Saturn, I think it was.
Dreamcast, maybe.
Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's so ancient. Yes.
And my roommate back in 2001, when we were both young bucks in the Navy in Virginia Beach, he had a Dreamcast, and I was always giving him shit because he mostly just played sports games and stuff. But then one day I saw this game, Grandia. We lived basically right behind a Best Buy. Like we could literally walk across the street and go to Best Buy. So every payday, we were in Best Buy buying compact discs or DVDs or video games. And I saw this Grandia game. I'm like, oh, what's this? And I stopped making fun of the Dreamcast when I played that game because I was like, holy shit, this is really good.
Man.
If they would do a modern HD release of Final Fantasy Tactics, they will probably destroy the wallets of half of the fucking universe.
Oh my god, yeah. If they remaster Tactics, holy shit.
I think the only game I played on Dreamcast was, it wasn't even Soul Calibur yet. I think it was Soul Blade. What was the first one?
Oh boy.
Yeah, that sounds right. And if I remember, like, wasn't there on the Dreamcast, there was like a thing that you could insert in the controller?
The top of it. Yeah.
That's what it was like a memory card, but you could also, there were some games where you could pull it out and it almost was like a little Game Boy.
I don't remember. It was so
you
long
could,
ago.
like, play certain.
They had
games
that shit
on it or
for
something.
PlayStation.
I remember
Final Fantasy VIII had the little mini Chocobo game that you played on a fucking memory card. That was like a
That's
little
right.
mini Game
I
Boy.
remember
Yeah.
I remember when they dropped the online module for the Dreamcast or whatever, because my uncle played what was it? One of the earlier
Fantasy
Fantasy
Star
Star
Online.
games. Yeah, he played Fantasy Star
There
Online.
it is.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, I'd love to go back in time and actually be in a conference call or something like that when they're describing what this thing is. It's like, all right, so here's the deal. We have a user base of people that have bought our console and everyone loves it. Sweet. What can we do? What if we divide that audience in like to 1/16 and then release a game that needs a CD attachment that you have to buy another part that you actually have to physically connect to the first part of the console? Yeah?
Everybody else is doing the same thing. At the
I
time.
don't see a problem with that whatsoever. Let's go.
Well, to be fair, everybody else is doing the same thing at that time. I mean, what you had the PS1 coming out, you had N64 had a bunch of stupid shit you could plug into it.
You know what plagued me as a child, as a young boy growing up? You couldn't play the full game of Perfect Dark without a 4 megabyte expansion pack for the Nintendo 64.
That's true.
And I bought that shit secondhand. And as a child growing up, you buy one fucking game a year, and that's it. That's what you get. That's what you get. And maybe you get a birthday and a Christmas present, but it's one game a year. And look, man, I had 2 other brothers growing up. With an expansion pack, we could all play together. Without it, no. You could play 2 people against AI, and that was it. No single player, no nothing. I was like, man, we couldn't play Majora's Mask, couldn't play fucking Donkey Kong, couldn't do any of that shit, dude.
I remember I loved going to my godfather's house because he had the PS2. He dropped all the money. I don't know if it was right when it first came out, but he that giant internet module you can get to the back of the fucking thing, the
Yes.
old, the original PS2 to play like some of the, what was it? I think some of the James Bond games had online capability, and then a couple other ones. I mean, I was always a PC person, but it was just, he was the only one I knew that had those games online, so it was always great going to his house. But it was like, like it's funny because like that internet module alone weighed more, I think, than like the slim PS2 that came later. So I remember, yeah.
Dial-up internet, man. You needed an RJ45. Plug that bad boy in there.
You could play Final Fantasy 11 on the PlayStation 2. That's how old that shit is.
I played a little bit of Phantasy Star Online on his thing. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just like running around as a giant robot with fucking like cannons the size of SUVs. That was always
the only
really
thing
amusing.
I remember.
And you could use a keyboard. You could type with a keyboard with a console. That was kind of interesting to me at the time.
The only thing that I remember being really revolutionary about the Dreamcast and the internet was that there were a couple of games where you could download additional content that the developers made if you had the internet module for it.
Oh, yeah.
That was about the only thing that I remember. And then Phantasy Star Online, I think.
All right. Spootnik, you got anything else?
No.
For an intro without any anime or whiskey, we've wandered around so much. Drumurboy, you weren't even present when we started intros. You're here now, and I'm guessing it's cold there. So, how you doing?
It's kind of cooling down a little bit. It's just cold in my apartment because if it's not 30 degrees outside, it's like 18 to 20 inside.
Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius.
Science, I assume.
Okay.
So it's like low 20s outside. So it's like hovering around 7.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Nice.
it's like hovering around 17, 18 inside. So that's a little chilly. For me anyway. Nothing to report really. Just had a lot of recording this week. Doing a new pack for Nerd or Die. And just gathering resources, making all those sounds happen, then chopping them up, seeing which ones are usable, and then sound designing. I did watch a new Netflix show. I guess it's not new. It was like a year ago called Maniac.
I don't know that one.
If you've never heard of it, look it up. It's 10 episodes. It's Emma Stone, I think her name is. And what's the guy's name? It's not Seth Rogen.
Oh wait, no. Yes, it is. It's another one. He used to
Jonah
be really
Hill.
fat,
Jonah Hill.
and now he's really skinny. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Jonah Hill and I think Emma Stone, and it's a real crazy, like kind of retro sci-fi drug trial show.
Yes, I do remember that now. I've never seen it, but I heard about it.
It's very good.
It mostly like this thing comes up mostly because it's like, yo, since Jonah Hill lost all that weight, has he done anything? And this is the only thing that comes up.
well, he did that the
Didn't
one
he-
movie about them being the gun runners in like Iraq or whatever, I think.
But he was still big in that movie.
I thought he had. Well, I think it was.
Yeah,
he
he was
wasn't.
fucking-
I thought he wasn't as big. He was starting. He lost a
Didn't
decent.
he
amount of weight.
do a buddy cop movie with Channing Tatum?
Yeah, but he was real big too.
Yeah.
Dude, if you've seen, like, look up Jonah Hill now and look up Jonah Hill, like,
No, this is Skinny Jonah Hill was a Maniac, and it's different.
yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, Maniac's the only thing that he's done since he became skinny.
I saw
No
he-
one knows
He does like Brazilian jiu-jitsu or some shit now.
Yeah. But
what.
if you haven't ever heard of Maniac,
Yeah.
look it up. It's real good. It's like it's sci-fi with a lot of dark humor. It's really it's good.
There have been a recent spat of sci-fi shows that are like, oh, this ship goes off into the great unknown, and then horror happens. There've been like, I want to say there's 2 or 3 shows. I can't think of the name of them. There's like,
Yeah. I think this was a year. It's like a year old though, because I remember people talking about it, and then I didn't have Netflix, so I didn't really care. But now that I do, I've been like going through. I'm gonna start watching Peaky Blinders next.
I'm waiting
I have
for
to
the
tell
next
you,
season of The Expanse.
It
So I'm
used to be
waiting for
that Netflix was releasing great stuff, and then they just started greenlighting any fucking garbage they could get their hands
They
on.
just
Yeah.
started throwing money at
They make
anything.
more money off their originals.
Well,
so-
people started taking their shit and being like, "We're gonna make our own streaming service." So fuck you, I guess. And then they're like, "Well, we need content."
We
Who's
need
got
original.
content?
Yeah, we need originals. That's the biggest thing.
But Maniac for a Netflix original, I enjoyed it a lot. It's
really good.
There was something that I was watching on Netflix a while back that was really good. It's not The Boys.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
Altered
something-
Carbon. I gotta add that to the wish list.
Altered Carbon was good.
I found
as well.
Altered Carbon hard to watch.
If you've have you ever watched The Expanse, Darla?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah,
all 3
Expanse.
seasons.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the
I'm
I'm reading the Expanse books right now because the books.
They're good.
You know, those are based
The
on a
books are
D&D
good.
campaign, right?
Yeah.
So good.
And the first, oh man, on Twitter, I think it was the person who plays Nagata.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I played my first session of D&D and it was great. We're going to start playing it on set. It's like, it's just a beautiful circle. It's just like the show was started as the D&D campaign, became a book, became a series, and now
This
the
is-
actors are playing D&D together.
I had found it. I have a shirt saved somewhere of the thing where it's I am that guy and has him sitting there with a shotgun. I was like, I want
Yeah.
that as a shirt. I'm gonna
If
get
you
that.
haven't
at some point.
seen, there was a quick Expanse like coming to Amazon Prime Canada kind of thing. And they did the "You're Not That Guy" scene, but with really cute dogs.
No, man, you missed out. Haven't you seen the Expanse Cats recaps?
Maybe
They
I don't
do
know.
recaps of the first and second season entirely with cats in like
That's
sandboxes and shit.
Fucking hilarious.
That's
They're
amazing.
they're incredibly good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking
I,
forward to that. Thing.
I just like how if you look at the behind because Adam Savage did some stuff, some behind the scenes stuff with them, and just how excited those guys are to do that show and everything else. It's just like the campaign to save that show when Sci-Fi for some stupid, like really stupid reason dropped it. You know, like the amount of support that show got from average Joe to just like people who actually have some pull, right? Was just insane. So
It's a good show, man.
it's really good. And I mean, the science, obviously there's a little bit of fuckery there, but a lot of the science is pretty spot on. I mean, when it, you had people like Neil deGrasse Tyson who are like, the science is pretty good for a TV show. It's like, oh, that's like fucking amazing. If he says it's pretty good, then fucking go home. Everybody go home. It ain't getting any better than that.
That's
So,
the guy that went on the Daily Show to say the Earth is turning the wrong direction in your intro. And for the first time in 20 years, they had to get a new Daily Show intro.
but it's just, there's the amount of people that came out, like the amount of people with actual power that came out to, get Amazon to actually fucking pick this up.
Yeah.
pick
Wasn't
the
there
show.
another show that got canceled and then got picked up somewhere else?
Oh,
I don't remember.
so
Probably
many.
stuff that
Brooklyn
appeared on-
Nine-Nine, Firefly came back as a movie.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yeah, Brooklyn
That was the
Nine-Nine had a
one.
pretty big campaign too.
because it was about the same time.
Community managed to get picked up by Yahoo for like another
fuck,
2 or
just-
3 seasons.
Community deserved to die though.
I just don't understand how Sci-Fi takes one of their most popular shows. It's like, we're just not gonna make it anymore. It's like, what the fuck is
It was
wrong?
expensive for them to make.
I know it's expensive, but it's like,
It was a huge
You know-
commitment. They didn't want it. Look, let me throw this out here before we jump back to Drumurboy's intro. I watched the Dave Chappelle special this weekend.
mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
first
I watched
third of
it
it I thought was like straight up fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And then the last
Wasn't
2/3
very
was
fun.
pretty all right.
Yeah, the first part was just kind of
First
like
part
anecdotal.
is so hard to watch. He was like, "Yep, I would fuck a child," and I was like, "What the fuck, Dave Chappelle? What the hell is wrong with you?" It was really, truly bad. Like if I just picked up halfway through, it probably would have been much funnier.
I mean, within the context of what he was talking about, I could
was
see
just
why
not
he was
funny.
doing the joke.
Mm.
I could see why he was making those jokes because that's just what Dave Chappelle does, man. But having said that, I watched it
20
today.
minutes of whiffs, man.
I literally watched it today, and I will say that the first half of it was kind of like, okay, I get Dave Chappelle, he's making jokes and stuff, but they're not landing with me, so that's cool. But whatever. But the last parts were real good.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Like the
Agreed.
buckshot jokes. Was
Yeah.
The Juicy Sommelier
Juicy
jokes
Sommelier.
I thought was
You know the
funny.
famous French actor.
That was really funny. I thought
We
I
were
could see
supporting it. We
where-
were keeping our mouths shut.
Yeah, I could see the connection he was trying to make with the whole Me Too and abortion rights things, but I was like, Dave, there's no connection there, man. That doesn't make any fucking sense what you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah,
that seemed a stretch.
I think it's the worst special he's done, which is all right because he's done a ton of really good ones.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's not as nearly as good as some
Well,
of the
this
older
is his
stuff.
first one since being back. Like he had the 2 when he came back, but those were like.
I think he's
he'd
got
already
like 4 or
done
5.
those.
He hasn't done a
Yeah,
proper
this is like his
special.
This is his 5th Netflix special.
Yeah, he hasn't done a proper, or I say proper. He doesn't do like a. When was the last time he did like a major, like hugely successful one? It's been a while, right?
Yeah, show.
Like 2 years ago.
It's only been 10 years. I thought it was longer than that. Okay.
All right. Well, as long as everyone else is in agreement that the first part was fucking disastrous
I haven't
meltdown.
watched. I don't really usually
I
watch
found
older
the-
stuff on
comfortable.
Netflix.
The suicide stuff, while I didn't think it was funny, it is an important message to put out there. Like, you never really know about someone, but it just wasn't funny. And also, I think that message has been said already. It wasn't anything new. But like James is saying, Dark Crystal, you should be watching that.
Well,
because
let me say this.
fucking good.
Everyone is saying to watch Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I'm seeing a lot of memes about it. I've never seen the original Dark Crystal. I don't know anything about it.
Well,
either.
the show is
It's
a
like
prequel.
Farscape, but fantasy.
The show is a
Okay.
prequel to the movie, so you don't have to have seen the movie to understand it. And they kind of there's
Well,
a
I mean,
lot of
but
lore building at the
right.
beginning.
Just because it's a prequel doesn't mean you haven't had to see the original to understand it. I mean, if you
They do a
watched
good job of
episode 1, 2,
explaining.
and 3 of Star Wars before 4, 5, and 6, you would fucking ruin 4, 5, and 6.
Well, yeah, no.
You would be
this-
like, oh yeah, I already know that Luke is Vader's son. Yeah, that's not an important plot point for me. There's no build up
That's-
here.
that's not the case here. They
Okay.
do a really good job of building the world and explaining it in like the first 10 minutes of the first episode.
So you would say, on your honor and reputation, I could watch this without watching Dark Crystal.
Yes, but you should watch the original movie too because it's fucking great.
Well, I don't know that that's on Netflix, so
I think it is. I think they put it on Netflix as
Okay.
like a companion
think
piece.
about it
I
then.
haven't even seen Labyrinth, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just before we
I
move
also
off
have
the
not
Dave
seen
Chappelle, just before we move off the Dave Chappelle thing, I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
I think those sorts of this is probably going to be really weird to say, but I
You've
kind
said
of hate the
several
fact
things.
that comedy is kind of like, I wouldn't say ruined because that's not really the word, but like a lot of people can't make the comedy that they used to make anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
history goes through cycles like that.
yeah, I understand that, but right now we're definitely in a defunct.
Absolutely, I'm not going to
comedy.
disagree with that. Certainly, we
Yeah.
are at a time where there are lots of comedians saying, "I couldn't make that joke like I could 10 years ago."
Yeah, and for me,
But that
it's
just happens.
incredible. Yeah, it's incredibly important that people like Dave Chappelle, even if they're not funny jokes, he can still make a living off of making those jokes, which is the most important part for me out of everything like that. So even if the jokes aren't really funny and they don't hit the mark, like Michael Jackson staring into a butthole, like, you know, it's more funny out of context than in context
Yeah.
through the Dave Chappelle thing. But the joke still needs to be made because without people making those sorts of jokes, I fear it would just completely die off. So that's all I want to say there. So
He needs to be able to make those jokes, even if it's not funny to everybody. Because I mean, comedy is subjective. Even if it's like, it's one thing too. It's like there's some comedians.
and also,
that
if you're going to a Dave Chappelle show thinking that you won't be offended
yeah, right. You should
or
know
whatever, like
know
what the
you're in
fuck,
for.
dude? Yeah,
It's like watching some of George Carlin stuff. Where, like people were super offended by it back in the day. It's like you fucking knew what you were getting into. Like
yeah. Go
Like,
go
that's-
see Carrot Top or something
But
like that.
that's the thing that like comedy is so topical that you like if you go back, if you listen to, you know, most of George Carlin's stuff these days, if you go back and listen to it, with the exception of his most famous bits, like, you know, the 7 words you can't say, blah, 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 all that shit, it doesn't have the same edge to it. It sounds like some just grumpy guy bitching about shit, and it's
But it was
I mean,
reflective of the times.
A good
Yeah.
example is like old school Eddie Murphy stand up.
oh yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Or even Lenny Bruce. Fuck, Lenny
Yeah.
Bruce is hailed as like one of the greatest comedians of all time. But if you listen to his shit now, if you don't have any understanding of the concept of the time, context of the time that he was telling those jokes, it's not funny. And you're like, why the fuck does everybody love this guy?
Yeah. And there's also just too much shit going around. If somebody does, because they for some reason didn't know what they're getting into, they get offended, and then they try and keep somebody from ever being able to work like ever again. It's like this.
Yeah, that's
stupid.
there's a really good Australian YouTuber who likes to point out the just the stupidity of modern media. His name is Friendly Geordies. He's from Australia, and he does a really good point of just fucking bashing on like political bloggers websites that like are literally like harpooning Dave Chappelle for his latest special.
Don't like it, don't fucking watch it. It's that simple.
Yeah. So anyway, that's sorry. That's me. I'm
Drumurboy, about that intro.
I mean, that's all I had. Just watched Maniac on Netflix and then a whole bunch of shit that I can't talk about.
Okay, whole bunch of shit you can't talk about. All right.
Basically, yeah. Like, I don't think the thing I did music for is announced yet. So that I'm kind of on hold with. So yeah. Everything that I'm working on right now, I can't really say anything about. So fun stuff.
Right. Well, this is one of the longest intros we've had that is neither whiskey nor anime based. So
a lot of important stuff was said, though, I feel.
I don't disagree with that. Certainly. I'm sure Drumurboy has a wonderful intro, but I have one as well. And first, I want to say, as a reminder for the people that skipped introductions, we will not have a show for the next 2 weeks because Dave is on vacation, so we'll be back in 3 weeks with the next episode.
Sorely needed vacation.
I mean, all vacations are sorely needed. If you'll recall, in the previous episode, our friends here made detailed, intimate plans to go to a certain location and then immediately abandoned it in order to make detailed, intimate plans to go to another location. And they did that about 4 or 5 times throughout the episode. I don't know if you can see it behind the screen, but every time they were like, we're going to someplace else, I was like, all right, I'm going to make some new encounters real quick. Just going to do some math. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's go west. Let's go to the sail cart land. And I was like, fuck, can't believe they went for that. Okay, sail cart land. Time to get my encounter chart out for that direction. Then they're like, oh shit, someone just told us to go to an office. We're going back to the Adventuring Guild, okay? We're going to go back to the Adventuring Guild. And I'm like, okay, well, they triggered the encounter there, and they're like, all right, we're going to follow this thread. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck it.
Then we got teleported to a wizard's tower multiple days travel away.
I know.
And like, oh, you guys are actually constructs. You're not real beings. All the memories you have are...
No, you're real beings. You do your intro, and then I'm gonna fill you in on the truth of things.
You want me to read my shit?
You have shit to read, sir.
Okay. Again, this is like Daka's journal, so it's a little bit from his perspective. Yeah. So last episode, Daka offered his son to the mask as an exchange for the hag taking them instead. I worked with a cost. Daka is a big favorite of the mask, as usual, and most likely can't fail without dire consequences this time. Kelly has run out of options in Flemian, options in quotes, this man in Flemian is eager to move on,
about that.
but it's also amassed a collection of research about magic items and the like. In Bondrock, we visit the guild, and though we still have our passes, they have no record of us. We meet with Arthur to make the guild search for evidence of crystals, as we did last time. On the way out, we pick up a contract to kill Half-Elven, and Kelly gets a booty call appointment with Chad to try to squeeze some info out of him. Oh yeah, Chad. I remember Chad. The party meets a Death God fan. I don't know what would you call the specific Death God cultist, I guess?
Cultist, fanatic, sycophant, something like that.
I just called him a Death God fan because I thought that was funny.
Groupie.
He tries to kill himself, but Kelly intervenes and saves him. He's handed over to the guards and later offered to the mask by Daka in a dream. When going to the guild to take up the half-elven contract, brought into a meeting with the Master of Masters of the whole Adventurers Guild. Ruinar Raholan, Master of Masters, is the Adventurers Guild kneels before Linley. Tells the story of when he fell through an ancient ruin in the north. The floor gave out and he fell deep into the earth, finding a prophecy of godlings that would save the world or change it drastically. He teleports us to the central tower in Magnar, where he's a rubbing from a wall from said ruin. The rubbing is not a holy prophecy as he believes, but it's a formal contract detailing our creation. We are beings created in the past, sent to the future in order to save the gods. The fifth is confirmed as the god of death, but she was not mentioned as a creation because she was formed at the death of the first god. And that's all I have.
Okay. So
there's parts missing because I was like writing it halfway through the episode.
I have assembled 8 facts about the Northern Elven Ruins rubbing. Last time I kind of had to quickly do things on the fly at the end of the episode. This time, you've had more period to stand around and kind of review everything. Hopefully you guys all see the pop-up that I just threw down at you.
Yep.
Excellent. You've had more time to review it while the Master of Masters goes to retrieve several magical items that you have asked for. You asked for anything that was attunable.
Mm-hmm.
You have all this information, and now he has returned with about 24 magical items of varying sizes and shapes.
Yeah.
Including a lot of musical instruments for some reason.
Damn
Yeah.
birds.
Dude, watch the party.
So I went through because I had some spare time during the week, and I just decided to sit down and go through all the stuff that we had. I used the Roll20 resource to get all this information. So if that's not good, then
DnD Beyond
whatever.
would have also given it to you, but yeah.
Yeah. In terms of the most effective stuff that we can use right now, the Oath Bow is real fucking tasty. So anyone who can use I believe it's a longbow, or is it a short bow? I can't remember which one it is. Now that I think about it, longbow. So I don't think Spooty you'll be able to use it because rangers are the only ones that can use longbow. So yep, that one's real good, especially if you have a hated opponent or whatever.
Well, you can declare that for the day, right? Like you
Uh,
declare an enemy.
No,
Yes, it
you
lasts
declare.
Oh, you choose when you make your character.
7 days.
No. So the Oath Bow, you choose it
okay.
when you're aiming at someone, and then when you fire it, that guy becomes your hated target for the day, which gives you a bunch of other stuff. So, but as a ranger, it would, I assume, go alongside of your current stuff. So,
Yeah.
Amulet of Health, real good for frontliners. It basically just bumps up your con to 19. Arthur, I don't know how you want to play this, whether that's retroactive or what.
I think that's the way con works. It's retroactive regardless.
So it would add +3 or whatever to your health for every level of health that you have, and then blah 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 going forward. That's a real good one. The Scimitar of Speed, real fucking good for Finley, I think.
Yep, that's what I was looking at.
I like the Dwarven Thrower just because I'm proficient with it.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Well, because I'm proficient with warhammers and axes.
But here's the thing: you wouldn't be proficient with it because you have a cursed item right now. So.
No, I'm still proficient with it. I just wouldn't be able to use it. I'm just saying, if I can do something about this cursed item against the Dwarven Thrower.
Yeah.
I mean, because you get a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it, and I'm automatically proficient with it because it's a warhammer. So I'm attacking with a plus. I'm getting a +6 on that. Whatever. That'd be great just to hold on to regardless. Because you just eat the fucking thing. It's Mjolnir essentially. It's exactly what it is. It's Mjolnir.
So the Silver Dragon Scale Mail, it's medium armor. So the only people that can use it is rangers right now. So
well, I've already got a half plate, which is
Well,
how
I mean,
much
this
does
one would
bonus
give you a
have?
total of 17 AC.
Plus
It'd also
dex.
give you resistance against cold
Mm,
and saves against dragon breath and for fear and stuff like that.
yeah.
So that one's real good for that reason. The arrow catching shield, I think I might take. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that uses shields
you're the
here,
only one
so
that-
it's just an extra 2 AC against missile weapons. So
Yeah.
the cloak of protection is also really good. It's 1 additional AC and +2 for all saves, I believe. So that one's real fucking good. Someone should definitely take that.
So I like the scimitar of speed. If I take that, can I carry that in my?
It's a scimitar's a flexible offhand weapon.
Finesse weapon.
Finesse weapon, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
you
So
can
I
use
could,
it in your offhand.
And you can sneak attack with it.
And you sneak attack with it, yeah. So
well, and as I can, as a bonus action, attack again with it.
So as a bonus action, you do another full attack.
Right.
Which means a full attack includes a major first attack. So you would attack once.
Yep.
And then you'd use a bonus action to attack again, and then you could use. And so basically, that's what it would be. You wouldn't
give you 2 main hand attacks. Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you use this in your main hand, you'd be using 1 weapon, but you could have 2 attacks with it in exchange.
Yeah.
And it's a +2. So it'd be +2 plus your dex mods plus proficiency. So that'd be like plus. I don't know what your proficiency is right now. It's like 3.
It's 3.
And I don't know
3,
what's your dex mod right now, like 4.
3.
3. So you'd be rolling 8, I guess, +8 on it, which is fucking neato, dude.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rogues from the crazy bonus.
But you wouldn't be able to use your. I mean, you still have your other weapon, but it would be like it wouldn't be the main weapon you'd use.
Right.
And the braces of defense are real good if you're unarmored. I know you're thinking of going barbarian at some other stage.
Well,
and then there's other stuff. There's a lot of other stuff, like the boots of levitation, pretty fucking good too. The necklaces of adaptation are not bad. The or ion stones are good as well. The protection is just the protection is basically just an extra +1 AC. But keep in mind you can only have 3 attunable things on you at once, so you kind of have to make a decision as to what you want. If you're going druid, Spooty, the wand of web will be really good.
No.
Yeah.
It's also another thing, like, I mean, you can change attunable items, so it's not, of course, the end all be all currently, but things to keep in mind. Was anybody wanting to use the Cloak of Elvenkind?
I mean, you can take it. Right now I have 2 items attuned to me, but with this shield, I'll probably have 3. So
yeah.
I've got the bracers already that are attunable, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct. Attuned to me, so I can have the oath bow and the silver dragon mail until we reach a crystal and I change to full warlock.
Warlocks don't use medium. Is that right?
They can't unless you go Hexblade now, or you have Hexblade and then Hex Warrior now.
Also, it's worth pointing out too, Spooty, if you go druid, you can't use anything metal anymore.
You sure about that? That sounds like a.
It's one of those weird things because like
that sounds like something that was a Pathfinder thing.
No, it's in this, but it's one of those weird things because like there's some stuff where like some of the devs have been like, oh, studded is fine. It's just like the majority of it can't be metal. It's like this weird, silly thing. Like studded leather, oh, that's fine, but like half plate, no.
But like metal weapons and stuff like that is also a no-no and stuff like that too. So,
it's like I think it's the majority material can't be metal. Because I remember there's one of the devs said something about it on Twitter, and I used to have a link to the thing, but I don't know why that's in there.
Druids can't use armor or shields made of metal, and that's the only thing it mentions.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Nothing about weapons.
That's interesting. But also all of this. Okay, so sickles, I guess scimitars. Okay, you're good, I think.
Yeah, and we can always, change stuff out. So it's into.
Yeah.
thing.
No, I'm taking that scimitar speed for now.
Yeah. No. Also, maybe take the boots of levitation as well.
Or
That'd be
well,
pretty
or
fun
I was
to
going to
use.
say, or the cloak of protection because it's +1 AC and +1 all saving throws.
Oh,
Plus 2 to saving throws as well. So
Is it?
Mhm.
yeah. I'm gonna take the cloak of protection.
It says
How many do you have?
plus-
That'll be 3 for you then if you have all
the
that. So.
cloak of protection is +1 AC and saving throws, not +2, unless it's different than the one that's on D&D Beyond.
Whatever's on D&D Beyond is what I would use.
Yeah, it's +1, +1 all that shit. Oh wow, that's funny. The dwarven thrower actually can only be attuned by a dwarf.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll keep that in reserve.
So Ducker, you would have one more thing you could take, I guess.
If I take the oath bow and scale mail, then I'm at 3.
Oh yeah, scale mail, right?
Yeah, I've got the shield right now. Is the only thing and that stupid fucking axe, I guess. But other than that,
yeah.
that's the problem.
Yeah. So I mean, you could take the braces, but it wouldn't do much anything for you right now.
No, because I'm wearing armor. And even then, it still might not, even if I go barbarian, because the smartest thing to do with the barbarian, actually, until you get your dex and con high enough, is actually to wear half plate. And then once your stats get high enough to make unarmored better than half plate, then you take it off.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure
there's no penalty for raging while wearing armor.
I'm pretty sure the armor gives you like 19 armor while you're wearing it.
No. So it's one of those weird things. It just depends because it's not like there's a penalty for raging with armor on like there used to be.
Also, the robe of the stars, when I would looked at it, seemed pretty fucking cool too. Like you basically just can cast magic missile out of it.
Nice.
It was actually pretty neato. I thought it was real dope. And also the other thing that Spooty you might like is the pipes of the sewers. You basically like become Pied Piper and control rats.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, if I do end up going druid, there's definitely shit in there that I'm gonna grab. But for now, I got the cloak of protection and the scimitar speed.
Cool.
That's
yeah. So, and that's also keeping your ice weapon sword or whatever it was.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, the bow's taken. I got one empty spot, so I'm trying to decide what to put in there because I've got currently Daka. What other do you have?
Why don't you take the amulet of health, dude? Like real honestly, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So right now, if my roll 20 will cooperate.
Okay. Well, how about this? If you're not going to take the amulet of health, maybe I should take that, and you take the arrow catching shield.
Well, I can't use a shield.
You can't.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but I've got a crossbow, and 2, I've got an axe,
And you've also already technically got a shield, so.
Yeah, but I have 68 HP right now, so it might be better.
The compendium doesn't have the actual numbers. It just has like.
I'm just going off of D&D Beyond, honestly, because it works. The compendium is fucking useless because there's stuff that's in the PHB that's not in the compendium for some reason. So it's like I never use it, other than copying spells over. I mean, I guess I could take those bracers, right?
Yeah, the other thing is the Ion Stone of Protection is good. The Cloak of Elvenkind is good.
Well, Spooty was going to take
Boots of Levitation is also really good.
Spoot was going to take the cloak, right?
No, there's 2 cloaks. There's a Cloak of Protection and
the cloak of protection he was going to take.
Yeah, I took that one. That gets my AC up to 17, which is pretty boss.
Yeah, if I take the bracers, that puts me at 19 AC. That's with the shield active, it puts me at 20.
So is Dragon Scale Mail just Scale Mail with an additional stuff? Because Dragon Mail
it's Scale Mail plus 1, so it's 7. So it'd be instead of 14 AC, it's 15 AC.
Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Is because like Dragon Scale Mail on both D&D Beyond and the Compendium don't list any numbers. They're just like
it's Scale Mail is 14 by default.
It says
with
while
a
wearing this armor,
dex.
you have a +1 bonus to AC.
Yeah, so basically you include 2 of your dex modifiers. So if you have 2, you get an extra 2 AC on top of it. So for a total of 17 total AC is what this thing would be worth if you have 2 dex.
And just a quick question: the crit damage for the scimitar is that 1d6 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're an orc, in which it'd be 2.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Also, you have resistance to cold and fear from dragon spells.
Yeah, I've got the thing like double clickable. So I can-
I mean, really, it doesn't matter if I take the stone or the bracers. They're both a +1 to AC, right? It doesn't really matter.
Well, the stone is like hands-free, essentially.
I mean, the bracers are too. I mean, you're just wearing it, right?
Yeah, the braces would probably be better. Wait, does it? But the braces can't work with armor.
Oh, okay. Then I'll take the stone then.
Yeah, because the braces don't give you. You have to have no armor
Yeah,
on in order for the
no.
braces to work. So
Yeah, wearing no armor and using no shield, you get +2. Yeah. I mean, we can save those and give those to the barbarian once I'm rolling barbarian, but
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll take the unstone of protection here.
I just want to point out that floats around your head. It makes it super obvious.
And
And it also has like an attack thing that people can attack it and stuff. So
yeah, they have to make a AC 24.
well, if you're not taking the amulet, I'll take the amulet, Arthur.
Yeah.
Okay,
Amulet of
so
health.
which amulet is that? Amulet of health. I'm marking that
Amulet
down.
of health. Yep.
I mean,
Me having more health is not going to be a bad thing.
no, it won't be. I mean, there's really not a whole lot else for me to take. I mean, I'll eventually use the hammer, but right now it's not really that useful to me.
So you're just taking the Iron Stone of Protection, that's it?
Yeah. Well, because I've got that, and then I already got 2 other items. So
Spootnik,
What's
what do
your
you
other
got?
item?
the animated shield and the axe.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Mhm.
Spootnik, what are you taking?
The Scimitar of Speed and Cloak of Protection.
Okay. Drumurboy, what is Daka grabbing?
the oath bow and the scale mill.
So it takes you an hour to attune to each of these. When you attempt to attune to the scale mail, the scale mail rejects you because you have too many items attuned to yourself.
Wait, no, he only has 3.
That I know of.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, what do you have?
I have the bracers. Oh, are the bracers? Do they count as 2?
No, braces are 1.
You got the bracers, the bow, and the mill, right?
Yeah.
You also have a ring of protection, maybe?
Oh,
Maybe
I
it
do.
does have a ring
I
of
do indeed.
protection.
I do
Oh,
have that
in
ring of
that case,
protection.
the oath bow also rejects you.
Well, I mean, yeah. You say if you don't want the ring, then I mean.
The ring will probably be better than the ion stone.
Oh no, it
If
would be.
it's-
It was. I think it was originally. We've passed that ring back and forth a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a Ring of Protection as well.
So Daka,
you
you are clearly attuned to an unknown object that already is taking a place
Interesting.
among your list of items.
Well, I'll take off the ring of protection and just take the scale mail.
Very well.
All right. Well,
Scale mail is probably going to be better.
No,
If he's-
so then
if he takes the ring off, I'm going to use the ring instead of the
the
iron stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. No, I definitely just deleted all of my notes by accident. Fortunately, that back button is there.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Is the Masters man still around?
Yeah, he's sitting there watching as you guys sit for an hour, just like attune.
Oh, I mean, he probably knows what's up, right?
Yeah.
Stop
yes.
watching me. I can't attune with someone watching.
When I try to like attune to the bow and it
Please, I've
rejects,
seen you attune before.
when the bow rejects me, I like look up confused at the masters and be like, is there a way to tell which items someone is attuned to? Some kind of spell or magical
question.
ritual.
He says, no, you should be aware of the items you're attuned to. You could always use a remove curse spell if you wish to break attunement to items.
Oh shit, there you go.
Yeah. Let's say.
I believe that our dwarven friend, if you have that capability, would.
Do you have
really
any
appreciate
idea that his item is cursed?
I don't think we know yet.
I do. Remember last episode, I had that whole like insight thing with his item when I did the.
I remember we had a conversation about it. He did some paladin bullshit and was able to determine that it had something wrong with it.
Okay.
Because he was like, I think you need to get rid of it. And I was like, I can't willingly part with it. So I was like, no, this is, the precious.
Yeah. I did a lot of research on the topic of the relics and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
So you're going to ask this guy to remove curse on the axe blade? The Holonic axe blade? All right,
or de-attune it from me.
So Agrim, immediately you find yourself saying, no, that's fine. I'm good. It's a great axe.
Please just go ahead and do it. He's not of the right mind.
No, that's very offensive, Kelly. I'm of the perfectly correct mind.
This is a perfectly good axe. I don't know what your problem is here. You all got fancy weapons. Why can't I have a fancy one? I mean, I'd like that hammer over there. It's real nice, but I've already got all this nice shit. I can't really.
Please just go ahead and do it for us.
I apologize. I must treat all of you as if you are gods to me, but there are two gods arguing before me, and I don't want to favor either one of them. I have not yet been given the rewards for the great works I've done in your name yet, so I wouldn't want to jeopardize that.
I can almost guarantee you right now, if you help us by removing this cursed item from his inventory.
Sounds like you have a lot to
attunement.
talk about amongst yourselves.
I can't guarantee shit because I'm kind of broke, but
You don't have any great magical blessings to give me?
I can give him a blessing. Literally. So, I actually, yes, you know what? I will give him a blessing, Arthur.
Okay.
This
I wanna be
blessing
super
will
clear. If you were going to cast the bless spell on him.
no.
All right.
No, I am going to attempt to take him kind of like what Kelly was doing a while back with religion and try and see if I can remove him from being reset, or give him that sort of remove him from like just being a generic person in time.
Sure. Absolutely. Make a religion check.
Okay. All right. Do I have inspiration? I don't think I do.
no, you used it.
Skills, religion. Yeah. It has a 60, Arthur.
This is not exactly what I was talking about when I said blessings. I was under the assumption that you all were great and powerful gods of time traveling and that you would have great rewards for a servant who had brought you all of the things that I have given you here.
So we have the power of being able to live through life many, many times.
Yes, you just explained that over the last half an hour.
What we can give to you as a boon, if you would want to hear it, is for you to know about your future. However,
Oh, cool. What is my future?
however, in order to do this, we must allow you to accompany us.
Okay.
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 Sure, why not? You know how to kill something, right?
It's
However,
been
there
a
is-
century, but yeah.
However, I do need to request your help with removing this axe from my friend. It is very important.
I mean, why? It's a perfectly good axe. I don't know why you're so hell-bent on taking it away from me.
I take the mother tone with Agrim. It's like, sit down and be quiet.
It's an axe. It ain't any
Sit
fucking
down.
broccoli.
And be quiet. The man knows what he's doing. Please, go ahead.
I'm just sitting there holding it.
3,
It's just mine.
2.
Yeah, he is an ancient elven master of an entire adventuring guild, and he wants nothing to do with this conversation. You never appeared more childish than in this moment to him.
I mean, we've known him for a couple hours.
Yes. Previously, he regarded you as gods. Now, it's somewhat more questionable when you're like, we'll tell you your future, but only if you adventure with us.
I mean, we still have mortal qualities.
Yes, you
We're
do.
fragments of a god.
That is not clear to him.
Right here on this rubbing, it says, "Don't meet your heroes."
Oh God.
So is he going to cast the spell, Arthur?
He's
No.
done.
He's already
No.
said that he's not going to cast a spell without Agrim's.
Can I make a persuasion
No.
attempt on him?
He's 100% against this. He's not going to cast or remove curse on a person who isn't asking for it.
The curse is stopping him from doing these things.
I have no. I mean, says who?
Says me. I've done great research on the item you're holding,
Agrim is acting weird compared to normal.
Well,
but he
why
doesn't.
don't
know
I
that.
identify that item for you? Perhaps we can
Please,
figure out.
that
okay.
would be a great first step, and then you
Do
I
you
can
mind
mean,
if I
I-
touched it?
I would love to learn more about this item because
Okay.
he's not trying to take it. He's just
Yeah,
trying
he
to
walks over.
educate me about it.
He
Just-
holds out a hand and begins whispering some words and touches. He's like, "Oh yeah, this thing's very cursed, 100%."
You just hear a low growl.
Well, I mean,
from Agrim.
maybe I'd like to get a second opinion. I mean, you know, it could just be I got some ancient dwarven runes on it. I mean, it might be.
It will require me 8 hours in order to adjust my spell list, or perhaps I could summon an employee who could perform this.
An
curse
employee
removal.
will do for
I'm
you.
curious about what his opinion is now that he actually knows that it's cursed, and not that, you know, because 5 seconds ago he was very much like, "No, I don't want it." So now is he now like, "Oh shit, no, for real, this thing's
Yes.
fucked up."
I mean, I want to point out that the curse on it is like kill everyone around you.
Yeah, well,
It's
yeah,
not
no,
just
it's
like
fucking-
your
it's
toes
fucking
turn
bad.
green or your
I'm
beard
well aware
grows
that
out.
I'm well aware it's bad, but I can't willingly part with it. But if
I'm
he knows it's
aware.
cursed,
He does know it's cursed, and he is summoning someone to deal with this.
because it just says I can't part with it, and I'm not trying to part with it.
That's correct.
As far as I'm aware, he's just trying to decurse it, which I'm like, oh, that's, you know, okay. Well, if it's cursed, decurse it. But I'm still gonna keep it.
His mouth starts moving, but he's clearly casting a spell. Someone will be here in a few minutes.
I'm just like sitting there, like a spit on like the axe haft, and you know the axe blade. I'm just like rubbing it, just to get the fingerprints off of it.
If no one has anything else, well, we all sit awkwardly.
Yeah.
A young
Time
man
passes.
arrives. He's just wearing
30 minutes later.
like a vest, a very simple shirt and pants, and he's just like, "All right, so this is a cursed item, huh? All right, buddy, you hold on for a few more seconds here. Just let me get my hands on that thing, and okay, all right, and he touches the axe, and its curse is lifted, but also have to remove or discard the axe now. Have to let it go, Agrim.
Okay. I'm gonna yeet this thing across the room.
Ah.
It sparks as a magical weapon collides with the stone of the wizard's tower.
That thing felt fucking weird.
Might I ask you to not throw magic weapons at the walls of my very tall and secure wizard's tower?
Yeah, no, the thing, it was messing with my brain. You know, it's weird. So I needed to get it away from me because I'm not usually like super possessive. However, I am going to need that hammer. Is that hammer cursed? Can anybody look at the hammer before I pick it up? I'm assuming he did your
I
research.
have examined all of these items personally. It's not cursed.
All right.
What's
Anybody
the
object?
hammer?
The dwarven thrower?
It's a hammer?
Yeah,
I did
boy.
not know that. I thought it was like a...
No, it's a warhammer, but you have to be a dwarf to wield it. But as a dwarf, I'm automatically proficient with warhammers and axes, so I can pick it up and throw it.
Got like a skull on it. You all of a sudden start speaking space Latin.
Space line.
See, I thought it was like a I don't know, some
No,
sort of
it's-
weird shooting device or something.
It is essentially Mjolnir. You can choose as an action to throw it, and at the end of the attack, it comes back to your hand.
Sounds like you have a
Yeah.
very special connection with this hammer.
Yeah.
It pulls
Yes,
you
could
off.
say that.
So I'm still sitting there. I'm looking at the hammer and be like, I'm gonna name you Glory Hammer.
Are you saying glory hammer in common or in dwarven?
Oh, in common.
Okay. The guy who just decursed Your thing is just like, that is a terrible name.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Who even are you? So Runer is just like, you can go now. We're good here.
I mean, I appreciate you did the curse thing. Thank you for that, but get the fuck out, please.
Wow, you're incredibly rude.
Yeah.
So what's the secondary damage on this thing? It says secondary damage 1d10.
That's
that
when
for
you
throwing? Or is that versatile?
You gain a +3. Yeah, I think so. It's a warhammer.
Okay,
So
so
you can use it one-handed or two-handed. Yeah, +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with a magic weapon. It has a thrown property with a normal range of 20 feet, long range of 60. When you hit the ranged attack using the weapon, it deals an extra 1d8 damage. Or if the target is a giant, 2d8 damage. Immediately after the attack, the weapon flies back to your hand. But it says at the top, it says very rare, requires attunement by a dwarf.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So, cool.
This will be useful in the future.
+3 weapon damage and +3 weapon attack is cool.
But I get my proficiency bonus with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna be here for a while?
I mean, we're doing like the I need guns, lots of guns scene. So
Because Daka has an idea of why he can only attune twice.
I'd love to hear it.
yeah, I would too.
I just look at the master's like, can you give us some privacy?
Okay. My literal room, but I'll go someplace else.
Thank you.
I will kind of approach Kelly though after I'm done the tournament and be like, look, I appreciate you doing the thing with the curse stuff. I know I wasn't exactly in my right mind, but I appreciate you, helping me out
Look,
with
I've
that
been around you long enough now, dear, that I
Dear.
understand when you're not in your right mind, okay? These
You're
last 3 years
you're not you when you're cursed.
You're not as
have
angry
a
as
Snickers
usual.
bar.
Yeah, have a Snickers.
These last 3 years have given me great wisdom. I can tell you that much right now. I have a different outlook on life, that is for sure. And I can't stand to see you plagued with such a curse when we need not have it.
I like to imagine that a dwarven Snickers bar can also be used as a melee weapon.
So what's your plan, Daka?
Well, some interesting things happened last time I talked to the mask.
Oh boy.
I went after that prisoner, the death fan.
I had a suspicion, but you really shouldn't be doing that. Life is to be celebrated, not summoned and destroyed like you seem to be wanting to do.
Oh, he wasn't destroyed. He was made more plentiful, if you understand.
No.
Don't mince your words with me, Warlock. I know exactly what you do.
Suit
Ouch.
yourself. But the mask wasn't there when I got to the plane of existence to where I needed to be. And at my house, it was shown to me that, well, I'll just see if I can do it. And he'll reach up to his face without being high, or just normal high, not like dream high, and try to pull his face off, Arthur.
No, you should just like, God, I feel so dumb right now.
I'm assuming it's not going to work.
It doesn't work.
Maybe you should take a couple of days and not smoke any of that stuff anymore.
In my visions, I pulled my own face off and the mask was staring back at me. I was the mask. I think.
I take out a document off and I'm just like, and do you feel like your dreams and your highs and your life are becoming one and the same?
Don't try to analyze me, Paladin. I know your tricks.
So we can hear this conversation here?
Yeah. I'm speaking out loud. I'm like, I am attuned to my own patron in a way that is not average, I believe, for dwarven contracts to be, or dwarven warlock contracts to be. That's the reason why I think I can only attune to 2 items. The other ones get rejected.
Well, from what I know about otherworldly creatures, much like your patron, they're either here or they're not. And this world seems to, well, this existence that we're in, this material plane, has a problem of keeping them attached. So perhaps your patron is figuratively and literally attached to your person and jumps between deaths with you.
Perhaps. But in any case, I can only attune twice. Well, I'm attuned as much as I can possibly be, and one of these items I do not know the origin of.
Perhaps it is best then that we go and find this crystal and you can consult with your other selves about the reality of what's happening to you.
My thoughts exactly.
I have a question for Arthur. They said, I know I got what the things that they did. Is just the crossbow that got me? Was that just a normal heavy crossbow? Because it said it was a fancy one. Or is there anything special about it?
Regular crossbow.
Okay.
Regular crossbow.
Maybe
Gotcha.
like the wood might be a little bit cooler, but
well, yeah. I mean, mechanically.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was asking.
it's not a double-barreled crossbow. If that's what you're asking.
It's not Bianca. Damn it.
Nothing ever will be.
Boom.
Not
Boom.
even the man who made it knows.
I
how
would
it's
love a
made.
volley crossbow though.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I took a look at Finley and Longbottom's page. I like your cloak of protection. Like
That's
you
the
said.
that's the
Cloak of
uwu,
protection.
that's the uwu version of the name.
Ooh.
Cloak of protection, senpai. Uwu.
I want to
God.
be super clear with you right now, Spootnik.
Damn it.
I'm disgusted with you. I'm the anime fan here, and I have no patience for that.
I thought you were just like being the guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights or whatever. Love, true love.
Hey, no, that's from Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah.
Marriage.
I get them so mixed up because like there's the same main actor.
So off topic, but on topic. Have you seen I think it's a bot on Reddit or it's a real person. I don't know, but it's like Uwu generator or comment Uwuizer, and it literally turns everything into that weird. It's fucking hysterical.
Jesus.
You see it randomly in the comments every once in a while, and it makes.
I'm good.
We fed all of Shakespeare to Uwubot, and it made.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love it when I love the one. Have you seen the fucking commercial one? Is just gold.
All right, let's get some D&D in, boys, because it's going to be 2 long weeks before we play again.
I'll call in the Master of Masters. Sorry about that.
Yes, I've returned. What can I do for you?
This place you fell into was in the caldera, correct?
It's on the north side. You have to understand that the ancient Elven Empire existed different time what we have now. We had greater technology back then. The city was built on the water. And when it was destroyed, it fell into the water. The ruins are located right about here.
Great. Can you take us there?
I can take us to the caldera.
Good. Because we have reason to believe that the beings that made us, that sent us here, have a piece of technology there that we have to acquire. It'll allow us to commune with former selves, to know what's going on here.
Yeah, she used to be an orc.
Mm-hmm.
How about think about that? Them apples. I said apples, but whatever.
Think about them cart nuts.
Are you talking about the crystals?
Yeah, the crystals.
Well, I believe that one is located in the Drow tunnels, nowhere near that particular location. There have been rumors that the red dragon that sleeps under the caldera may protect such an object?
The dragon
We-
known as Yellowstone.
There's a creature in the east, beneath the desert, that we met last cycle that told us about the one at the caldera. He seemed to know who or what we were without as much technical information as you've been able to provide.
Yep.
His name was Siuk.
Also, don't mind these rolls. I'm just testing things for Spooty real quick.
That sounds as if you're speaking of some sort of ancient elven enemy. That name, it sounds like a Naga name.
Very possible. It was a giant bone dragon, or serpent, I guess.
A serpent, yes. That would be a Naga. Probably a bone Naga.
Well, I mean, it helped us out a whole lot, so I mean, you know.
Oh, well, I apologize. We pretty much wiped out their entire race.
Yeah, he was doing some weird stuff with family members, turning them into.
Yeah, it sounds like a bone
Zombies.
Naga.
I mean, when you're locked into a thing for what, how many 100,000?
No,
whatever,
trust
I mean,
me, the world is better off without the Nagas. I've read the records.
I mean, I feel the same way about Drow, but apparently, you know, they're not all bad. So,
Well,
I
they
mean,
aren't all
he
bad.
seemed to help us. He seemed to help us out, so, you know.
Okay.
But in any case, he was a trusted source of information from the place that we came from. So
True enough.
I trust his information that there was a crystal at the caldera, possibly guarded by this dragon.
Well, I can take us to the caldera if you wish to head to the Drow tunnels.
Sure.
Whereabouts does this teleportation device lead us within the Drow tunnels?
It doesn't. It leads us to the islands above the Drow tunnels. We need to find transport down there.
Which way would you like to go, boys?
I mean, whichever way gets us down there, or closest to, when we
It
got to
sounds
find
like
the
we're-
crystal.
It sounds like we're talking about the same location, are we not? The caldera and the Drow tunnels are the same.
Are they the same?
The Drow tunnels are underneath the caldera.
Yeah. So this.
So-
The difference here is that you want to go check out the ruins that he mentioned earlier, where he found those rubbings, which is not the same location as the Drow tunnels.
Okay, we should definitely hit the crystal first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
Okay.
the Drow tunnels then. Find a way to get in there.
Okay.
And hopefully not engage the dragon this time. We had or at least I had a bad experience about that last time.
Well, as long as there's not any deep, dark holes for someone to eat themselves into, we should be fine.
What happened? I was dead.
He jumped in a hole.
That sounds like Lindley.
He died before he hit the bottom.
I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time. I keep saying that.
It doesn't
Well-
make it a good idea.
We all make mistakes. You hot dogged when you should have pizza. It's fine.
The fuck is a pizza?
It's a figure of speech. Pizza is incredible.
Never had it. Anyway, all right, so let's go.
Teleportation noise.
He leads you back up to his roof, looking out over the city, and he takes out his staff. It appears in his hand. He taps the ground and makes like a swirling motion, and all of the runes that are there start rotating. You see like some of the runes disappear and new ones appear, and he says, "This is the one that will take us to the caldera. Hold a moment," and then you all disappear and reappear. There's a massive tree that twists around a stone plate into which the runes are inscribed, and you appear on that plate looking down over a grove, a massive grove, a tree city. It is fucking hot as shit here. It's hotter than the desert was. It's easily in the above 100 degrees with nearly 100% humidity.
It was a volcano at one point, was it not?
There's
I
like
mean-
a constant level of mist coming off of the water that surrounds this island. And you can see that there are elves moving among the trees. These are not like armored warriors. Everyone
regular
here is wearing
citizens.
like a loincloth and has a bow and some rope strapped to their back and various tools of whatever trade they have. But the people that live here are like the elven tree hippies of society. And he was just like, welcome to the capital city of the elves. This tree is the location of our adventuring guild.
Wonderful. It's beautiful.
The way you're describing them sounds exactly like the elves out of Divinity 2. I mean, their whole thing, the whole thing's in a tree.
If that or Avatar.
That too.
All of our people live above the waterline here, moving from island to island every few years, learning a new trade, seeking joy in life.
I can understand that.
Society has turned to reject the old ways that led the elves to conquer all of the known world. You know, we created humans. It's pretty awesome, I'm told.
Is this guy Elvin?
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
Created humans, huh? That's a fucking mistake.
Yeah,
Well, I
know all about
disagree.
that.
I've known many fine humans in my life.
I've known a couple, but I mean, come on, the majority of them we come across not good people.
Well, the ones that we lived with in Flemia were nice people.
Well, I'm sure they're fine, but you know, I mean, all the other ones we meet are.
Well, the most of the other ones we meet are either bandits or trying to kill us. So
Would you prefer
My
to
point.
travel by vine or by bird?
Bird, 100% bird.
Okay, so he's like, then wait
Bird is
here,
the
I
word.
will whistle one up. And he just like starts whistling and then begins speaking in Elvish.
What's he saying in English?
You speak Elvish?
I do.
He says, hearken unto me, transport. I seek thee and will provide recompense. Requesting 4 passengers.
After he gets done, I'm asking, so what? I mean, how do you pay a giant bird?
I will provide it with great sacrifice. And he like reaches into a bag.
I just look at Finley and like, wait a minute.
Just pulls out like this giant heap of raw red meat that's still got like the blood coming off of it. He's like, appropriate sacrifice is always given for those who do work.
You kept that in a bag?
Yes, this is my bag of colding.
I love it.
It's a bag of holding that perfectly preserves whatever is placed in it.
All right, I'll give you that one, Arthur. That was pretty good.
Oh, you like that? Well, then you'll really like the bag of scolding that I created for
All
young
right,
adventurers.
that's a little.
No,
all
no,
right,
no,
you-
it's very
you
good.
one.
You
You
if
had
you
a good
put
one, you
money
ruined
in it, you can only remove a certain amount every week. And it reminds you every night whether you've brushed your teeth and eaten enough vegetable content.
You had it and you lost it.
No,
What the
I've
fuck?
still got it. I don't know who this Arthur you're talking to is.
Bag of molding. It makes cheese ripen much, much quicker.
Wow.
Wow.
bag of balding when you don't want to groom the normal way.
Several minutes later, he
A bag of
repeats his
folding that you can fold things more than 7 times.
you put laundry in, and out come your pressed shirts.
shit. I would buy that shit for 500 gold
right?
pieces.
No kidding, dude. Fucking hate folding laundry.
After a few minutes, he repeats the process, and then a enormous rock comes and lands on the stone tablet. The whole tablet, like the tree shakes in the process. The guy in the back of the rock's just like, "Hey man, how's it going, y'all?
What a beautiful creature.
Howdy.
Why don't y'all climb on here then?"
I eagerly scamper up the side.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's go.
With a hop, skip, and a jump. I'm aboard.
You know, I imagine I'm setting up on a saddle, just like sitting there, like my legs don't go all the way down the sides. It's like, all right.
So
yeah,
it's a
let's fuck-
box exactly like Baba's box.
Oh, is it a box? Okay,
Yeah,
well, that's
but
that really is exciting.
it's got belts that are on the seats to strap yourself in, and then on the lap to strap yourself in as well. Where are we going? So as this is happening, Runar has just lifted up off the ground and is hovering beside all of you in the air.
Drow tunnels, I guess.
Okay, yeah, you know, I know some drow. My brother's a drow, actually. I can take you there.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay, is this your guys' first time traveling by the rock?
First time
Yes, it is.
traveling by a giant bird. Yeah.
As
I've
far
been-
as we know.
I've
Okay.
been stoned many times, but never on
I'm
a
going
rock.
to charge you extra if you do. So, do you need to go to the bathroom or anything before we get started here?
What an unpleasant question.
Just take a deep breath then and try not to scream. It upsets the rock.
Listen, we're very veteran adventurers. I doubt
Okay, my name
flying a bird-
Ombliss. And then as he says that, the bird just...
Yeah, and Kelly immediately is like, ah!
I like to imagine. You see, a story I've been told by like everybody I know who's been in the army is like the first time they get in a chopper, the pilots always ask them, "Is this your first time in a chopper?" They'll be like, "Yeah." It's just they try and scare the shit out of them every fucking time.
First time I did parachuting, the guy made me open the fucking door on a plane flying through the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Let me tell you, that is not something you do.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, your mind is like, this is the perfectly good airplane. Like, if it was on fire, okay, maybe, but it's not. It's a perfectly good airplane. Why would I
And
jump
then
out
he
of it?
made me sit down and stick my legs out the plane.
Mhm. Did he do butt scoot?
And my legs went from this to like this straight away because of the wind. And I'm just like, and then he's like, all right, it's tandem. And he's like, all right, on the count of three, we're going to go out. 1, 2. And then on 2, he leaned into my ear and said, we're going to flip. And I turned to my companions, literally blood drained out of my
Here's what I can't get about parachuting.
uh,
Every time I see these videos of them getting ready to jump out the door, and there's an engine right there, and I'm like, why the fuck would you ever do this? I'm so afraid.
it was terrifying. I will say that much, but it was a great experience.
No
it,
capes.
it depends on the plane, but I mean, just the air going by, you're not gonna get sucked into a prop or something. But yeah, no, I see that. I'm like, yeah. My dad keeps trying to get me to go skydiving. There's a place like down there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on the ground. It's good. There's groundy things here, like ground and more ground. I'm fine.
So as we're flying through the air on this rock, Daka just screams, Rorik would love this.
Why? Because we're on a
rock.
This is on a rock.
God damn it!
Wow. Amazing.
God.
We'll be back for the second half in 8 minutes.
Man, how do I make this noose again? Like